The Trump administration appears to be taking big steps toward dismantling the U.S. Department of Education. Education Secretary Linda McMahon says she's apparently making good on orders from President Trump, who called for the department to be eliminated. This week, McMahon announced a plan that includes handing off some of the department's biggest grant programs to other federal agencies. That is billions of dollars in grants that will be redirected. Officials say that the Department of Labor will co-manage some of the largest federal funding streams for K-12 schools, including Title I money for schools serving low-income communities. For more on what this means for school districts, teachers, and students, let's bring in Randi Weingarten, president of the American Federation of Teachers. Randi, great to have you here. Talk to us just a little bit about the immediate impact of some of these steps that they will have on students, teachers, schools more broadly.
So let me just say, Elizabeth, it's great to be with you. Let me just say that this is a real abandonment of the federal role in not just education, but in our future. And this is what I mean by this. I've seen Linda McMahon do a whole bunch of press conferences. There's not one of which has been, how do we help kids in the long term? It's always about dismantlement. It's always about changing something, getting rid of something in the Department of Education. It's never about what we're trying to do to help kids. So I think that this administration just doesn't like children because, they got rid of SNAP during the shutdown when they didn't have to. They've done $1 trillion cut in Medicaid. They made the student loan situation a mess until they agreed with us, and after we sued them to make it better. They, went after millions of dollars of grants in universities, and now they're basically dispersing the stuff that has to be done in schools. Like, the work in Title I is what helped Mississippi have better literacy scores, and Louisiana have better literacy scores. The Labor Department does not know how to teach reading, and nobody in HHS knows how to do work with kids with disabilities anymore. And I say that, and let me say one more thing: as the union who didn't want a Department of Education, we wanted it all to stay in the old HEW, but it's a real problem now.
Well, and Randi, as you alluded to a bit, Linda McMahon says this is about streamlining operations, making things more efficient, saving money. Isn't there merit to that argument in some way?
Yes, of course there's merit to that argument. And if you ever met a teacher in the United States of America, they hate bureaucracy. They so if you talk to teachers would figure out how to make things more efficient. But if you actually put things all over the United States government with people who don't know how to use it, it's not saving money. It's just basically eviscerating the services. So they would be more honest to say, like President Trump did, early on in his presidency, I want to get rid of the Department of Education. I mean, that's what they're trying to do. It's not making things more efficient. It's eviscerating things. So for me, I care about the function, not the form. As I said, my predecessor didn't want to create a Department of Education. He wanted it to stay in health, education, and welfare. So I'm not married to having a Department of Education, but I want the Title I funds that go to students now to go to students. And if they don't, I want somebody in the federal government to be able to stop them from being used wrongly. And the same thing for kids with disabilities. And we don't see how that's going to happen in this new paradigm.
And I know that the AFT will continue to be a leading voice on this. Randi Weingarten, always appreciate the chance to talk to you for a couple minutes. Thanks so much.